Well, they've had months in the lead up to this meeting, Pete. I mean, the Prime Minister's built this meeting up as the seminal moment to address Labor's housing crisis. They've had literally months. Why don't we have an outline of exactly where these proposed homes are going? What are the projects? Who are the partners? Who's delivering them? What's the timeframes? I mean, if you're fair income, they're the sorts of details you've got to give Australians because, you know, I hate to be a cynic, but we've heard it all before. We've heard it 100 times before. States and local governments talking about ambitious planning and zoning reforms, and guess what? It keeps getting worse. And so all we saw yesterday was just another one of those very empty, broad promises. The way you get outcomes is to make specific promises. What are the projects? Where are they? Where is the new land being released? What are the new suburbs that our cities are going to need? Who's going to build them? Who is the government going to partner with? Who's going to fund them? And importantly, who's going to build them? Now, the fact that they are unable to provide any of those details, I think makes it very clear that it's not fair income at all. And just like they didn't meet their million home promise that they made in October, in 6 and 12 months' time, we'll look back at this and say they got nowhere near their 1.2 million home target either.
OK. This has been a problem a decade in the making, though. Why didn't you do it when you were in power?
Well, if you look at what we did when we were in government and do the comparisons, it's very embarrassing for this government. HIA data, which was just out this week, Pete, showed that in 2021, there were nearly 150,000 detached homes built. Next year, they're projecting it will be down to 94,000. That is a massive drop in just 3 years that we've seen occur on this government's watch. So sadly, with housing supply not going forward, not even being maintained at the levels that the Labor government inherited, but going backwards, on every single measure, housing outcomes for Australians are going to get worse. First home buyers are down to their lowest levels since the Gillard government. New home starts are down. New home approvals are down. New home sales are down nearly 40%. I mean, the idea that we're in a housing crisis now, Australians need to realise it's going to get a whole lot worse. And what the Prime Minister announced yesterday just locks that in.
Right.
Just locks in that.
But a lot of this is out of his control, though, right?
By the year.
A lot of this is out of his control. Much of it lies on the states and councils' responsibility, right, to free up more land, to unlock more land, to rezone.
Well, he said he was stepping up and taking responsibility for this. He's the one that built up this meeting of National Cabinet. Let's be frank, in nearly every situation, all he has to do is get on the phone to a Labor mate in one of those states and make it happen.
Okay.
I mean, he has had that opportunity and he said that he would. And so yesterday was so alarming for all of us because, you know, I wasn't expecting a great deal, but even I was pretty gobsmacked at just how much of a fizzer it was. And again, if you're a renter, if you've got a mortgage, if you're trying to save for your first home, nothing you heard yesterday would get you very excited. In fact, depressingly, it just locks in this trajectory of things getting worse and worse.
Okay. That wasn't you lighting up the flares in Fed Square, was it, last night, Michael?
No, it wasn't. But, you know, wouldn't be the first time a flare's been let off. It was an exciting match. And, look, as Robbie Slater rightly pointed out, you know, credit to England for really playing a great match. But look, that doesn't diminish the fantastic tournament we've had, and you know, it's still taken and captivated the nation, and I think that's something that is a great legacy for the Matildas and for all sport in this country.
It is indeed. Michael Sukkar, appreciate your time. Thank you.